this is pretty awesome. You guys remember our friend JJ, the van girl? She kind of became the biggest video on our YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. Even our intro video didn't do what JJ's video did. But anyway, JJ is a really good friend, really awesome and creative person. And she told us last night she's painting an RV today. I'm in Ocean Beach, so if you're not familiar with San Diego, it's kind of like the hippie beach. A lot of people live in their vans here, a lot of RV guys. I'll show you around here in a little bit, but we're gonna go watch and do some time lapse of JJ painting an RV. Stay tuned.
The story goes, once upon a time, little JJ wanted to be an artist. And then the world squelched her dream. Like, you know, it's time to really start actually living life, because we only get one. And instead of talking about all of the things that I want to do one day, or create, or paint, I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm just gonna start doing them.
What we do here is go back.
It's a buddy of mine, actually a really cool story. Him and his wife, they have 3 young girls, and they were living in a house a couple streets down, and the owners of the house sold it, so they had to move out like right away with nowhere else really to move into, and they had this RV. So the whole family moved into the RV. So it was 2 adults, 3 kids in this guy. And they traveled for about a month going to go see family and stuff, and then the next 2 months they lived here in the parking lot in Ocean Beach. And it was really cool because they're just a super rad, loving family, love Jesus, love loving on people, love just like being a light to the world, just even if that's in the form of, like, I don't know, being kind to somebody, because people aren't really that kind to people these days. And when they moved into this parking lot, actually they saw the crime drop tremendously. Like, even law enforcement was like, dude, stick around. And that's pretty uncommon. So they were in this guy for about 3 months, and then finally eventually got a house actually on the same street where I am, just a couple blocks down. And so they kind of wanted to do something super rad with the RV, and knowing that I'm super into painting and I love this community, they were like, hey, what if we turned it into like a little community project where you're out there just painting it up? And I was like, sure, I'll go for that. 2015, I'm sure probably a lot of people could say this, but last year, 2015, was pretty rough for me, and I think part of that was because I was just in survival mode of just functioning, and I had fun and I got by, but I just sort of, I've lived a lot of my life trying to be who other people want me to be, and I think that, unfortunately, for the purposes of pleasing those people, but in my efforts of making people happy in that way, I've just consistently suppressed a lot of who I am, thereby making myself really unhappy. And so 2015 was rough, and towards the end of the year I was just like, dude, something's got to change, you know, like I can't keep going on the way that I'm going, because I'm just like functioning at this point. It's kind of not worth it. I took a trip to Israel in the fall, and I kind of thought taking a trip to the Holy Land was going to be like my holy moment and like this moment of enlightenment, and you know, God was going to speak to me and I was going to, you know, figure out what I was doing with my life and blah blah blah. And it's not to say that the Holy Land isn't important or a place that I appreciate and respect because of the value that it holds, but I realize that if I'm not seeking God in my everyday life, like I can't expect to go somewhere, and I can't expect to go to the Holy Land and have some sort of magical experience as if God's only there, you know? And so I go to Israel with this hyped expectations of, okay, even though I'm living kind of a crummy life here, I'll go here and this will fix it, you know? I'll have these holy fuzzies and we'll get better and we'll figure it all out. And I got there and I was like, okay, you know, the dirt's cool, the prayer wall's cool, everything's cool, but it was still dirt and it was still a wall, and so I didn't have like any of these like, you know, holy hugs or warm fuzzies, and I was super confused, like, am I not a good Christian? You know, because everyone had these other experiences. But I felt like, for me, I realized, dude, God's not confined by time, by space, or by place. And so even though that's a place that he chose and it's an important part of our history, he's not limited to only being there. Like, I can have him in my life no matter where I go, and he wants me to fully be me wherever I go. And so just sort of tapping into getting in touch with who I am is, instead of expecting like a location or a place to like fix me and make me be happy, it was like, what would it look like for me to just actually be me, and then no matter where I went, I could fully function as me and enjoy that place, as opposed to like depend on that place to fix me. So it kind of is like, it's a mix of things. It's like a mix of A, being tired of where I was at, B, that plane might bother us, B, just sort of like being on a spiritual quest of like, God, who are you? Like, what's going on? And what are you doing with me? And where are you? You know, and instead of thinking he was over here across the sea, he's like, dude, I'm everywhere, you know? And I feel like the more that you allow yourself to be yourself, since I created you, the more you're going to know about me and about who I am. And so it's kind of just this journey of like, taking baby steps, I guess, towards being like, all right, well, who am I and what do I like? And just getting in touch with those things again and being like, really, Lord? Like, you get excited about me, say, painting, because I really like painting? And he was like, yeah, dude, stoked on it. If you're only trying to get somewhere, I don't think you'll ever actually get there. But if you just start taking steps towards being who you want to be and doing what you want to do, I mean, the world, doors are just going to like fly open. That's a long-winded way of putting it.
Back in the car heading home. So what's interesting is I've found lately, just talking to people, and even just telling my wife this the other day, it seems like most people, when they finally do that thing, whatever that thing is, whether your thing is like JJ's, you know, she's painting, she's got a gift, she's using it, or hey, I want to travel, I've always been afraid to just jump and sell everything and buy an RV like, you know, like we did, or whatever your thing is, I found in talking to people, it's almost every time when they do that thing, they're free. They're free. I don't know any other way to say it. And I was just telling my wife this the other day, for me, when I'm out creating something, whether it's, you know, a YouTube channel, you know, a web page, or making something at the shop, at the wood shop, it doesn't matter what it is. It's freedom. I mean, it really makes you feel like you're alive, like something's different. And what I also realize is that when you're around people that are doing that thing, it's encouraging. And when you're around people that are not doing that thing, it's not encouraging. I don't know. That's what I think.
What we do here is go back.